Hey, Miss Tucker, can you hear me?
We can. We just opened up the link and are letting in the people at this time. So we'll just wait a minute or so here and let folks come in.
Okay, I got a text from Miss Newman. She may be in.
Yeah, right. We were wondering where you were. So that's it. So you can delete that.
Uh-oh, I'm off now. Wait a minute.
We can still hear you.
Yeah,
I
we can
know, but
see
it
you and hear
just,
you.
I lost.
Oh,
Hey,
Lord.
Don.
He's like Mark Payne, isn't
You know what? In my head, I was thinking, I was reading your mind this week.
he?
All right, I hope
Okay.
I'm back. Am I back
Yeah.
now?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. It kicked me off. Mr. Hewlin must have said to get off. He might kick me off there. I'll leave it. The only person I can see that's not, I don't know, Angie Miller, you might have said you'd had enough already. All I know is I don't have a nominating report, so you better have one, Miss Miller.
I'm ready. I got it for you, buddy. I'm ready.
If not, we're going to just start pulling people out of the hat, right?
We'll just start acting like we're breaking up. Like,
You must have done that before, Angie, because that
I can't
sounded real
answer that.
good. Oh my. How many have we? Okay. Well, Dr. Gainey, I think we're 3 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour. I think we're good to go, and we'll let you do your thing. Call the
All
meeting.
righty. Well, good afternoon. My name is Stephen Gainey. I'm the president of the board of directors for North Carolina High School Athletic Association. And I want to take a moment this time to call the annual meeting of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association to order and welcome everyone to today's meeting. 2025-2026 school year has been another great one for high school athletics in North Carolina. We're moving quickly to the end of the spring sports season, and it has been no less exciting than the winter and the fall sports season. It's been a great year all the way through. This time, I want to take a moment and thank the following people for their great efforts to make high school athletics so special in the state of North Carolina. Begin with, I want to thank our great student athletes. Everything being done in high school athletics is for you, and you always respond with great performances. Also, you do a great job of representing your schools and your communities. I also want to thank our coaches, our athletic directors, our high school principals, and I don't want to leave out our high school assistant principals because they're involved many nights in high school athletics as well. I want to thank our referees, officials, and umpires. We could not do it without you. As I said the other day in the board of directors meeting, we thoroughly love you and what you do for high school athletics in the state of North Carolina. I also want to thank our parents, especially Booster Club parents. And many times we have Booster Club members at high schools that don't even have kids in the school anymore, and they're still coming back and helping. And people see that and appreciate you, parents. Staff members and teachers who serve in many roles, such as ticket takers, school board operators, and public address announcers. Thank you. I want to thank our local law enforcement officers who provide security at the high school athletic events across the state. I also want to thank community members who still support high school athletics as volunteers and fans, including many whose children have moved out of high school or maybe not reached high school yet. Our local media outlets, Ms. Tucker and I spent some time with them yesterday in the press conference, especially the local ones and even statewide, who continue to showcase the great things being done by our student athletes. Thank you. Thank you. I just appreciate when you showcase our kids and our coaches and adults who are doing great things in athletics. You let our student athletes know two things: that we're watching them and that we value them. And finally, the last group I want to say thank you to, and I hope I've not left anybody out, but I want to thank all the individuals in these previously mentioned roles who came before us and made high school athletics in North Carolina what it is today. We must never forget the history of high school athletics in North Carolina and the history of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. We cannot forget that. History means a lot. It's why we're having the opportunities we have now. Many of us in today's meeting benefited from high school athletics during our days in high school. And for that, to those individuals, I say thank you. Without a doubt, high school athletics in the great state of North Carolina always has been and always will be special. However, as noted in the previous list of individuals, it involves a lot of people to make it work. I'm still amazed to go to ball games, state championship events, regular season games, playoff games, and the number of people who are involved at the school level or at the state championship level helping us make things work is amazing to me. I also want to take a moment and thank the commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, Ms. Q. Tucker, and her staff members for their great leadership on a daily basis. For the last 7 years, I've had a front row seat, or more of a front row seat than I had when I was a high school principal or as a superintendent or assistant superintendent. And I'm amazed it all goes on in that building in Chapel Hill. And it's all for kids. And I appreciate you guys, staff members, and Ms. Tucker. Thank you. I appreciate the spirit behind your work as well, because it's a positive spirit for the sake of kids. I also want to take a moment and congratulate the commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, Ms. Q. Tucker, on her retirement, which was announced several weeks ago. And I want to thank her for all of her great work for high school athletics in North Carolina and across the country for all of these years. Q. Tucker's been a name I've known my whole career. And even when I was still in high school, that name was out there. Ms. Tucker, we have been fortunate to have you for all these years, and we're going to enjoy having you with us all the way till the end of September, I guess, Ms. Tucker, but thank you for all you've done for high school athletics. Finally, I want to thank the members of the board of directors for their great work, not only this past week. We had 2 days of meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday, and yesterday's went quite long. And we ended on a very positive note. We sanctioned yet 2 more sports. It shows that the athletic association is continuing to adjust to changing interests of children over time. We sanctioned, I'm very proud to say, we sanctioned boys volleyball and girls flag football yesterday. And board of directors, I appreciate you more than you know. And I appreciate not only what you did in our meeting back in December, but what you did this week, and also what you do all throughout the year. Without a doubt, I am honored to be a member of this great team of athletic leaders that we call the Board of Directors for North Carolina High School Athletic Association. So I want to end up with just a couple more comments, and I'll move to the next section of our agenda. But I just want to note what's happened during the past 12 months in high school athletics in North Carolina. Well, here's just a couple of highlights. Number one, we have had great performances by teams throughout the state that ended in tremendous levels of competition in the playoffs and state championships. There's nothing more special than seeing kids compete and compete with integrity and good sportsmanship. And I thank you athletes and coaches for continuing to have great competition every night out. Also, we've had continued opportunities for our student athletes to grow as leaders. Somebody will have to convince me more than they have now if they want me to believe that high school athletics doesn't lead the leaders of the future. I don't know how I'm ever going to believe that, because I watched it the other way. High school athletics is one of the best leadership preparatory programs in America. And so thank you to all the school level people who continue to put kids in positions to grow as leaders. And thank you to the staff of the Athletic Association, because you're right in there as well. Third thing I want to point out is we've had continuous opportunities for student athletes to be around tremendous adult mentors. That is huge. Coaches, principals, athletic directors, you have no idea the influence you're making on kids. You have no idea how much these kids want that relationship with you for the rest of their lives. And it is huge. And I just thank you for making that possible. And student athletes, I thank you for embracing that. I still talk to my high school baseball coach, and I still talk to my high school basketball coach. My high school football coach has passed away, but until that time, continue to talk to him. And three most special people in my life were Wilbur Sasser, Charlie Smith, and Shelley Marsh. And so I encourage you athletes to continue to embrace these these mentors in your life. And coaches, please continue to embrace the role you play as mentors to these kids. And finally, it has been a positive year one of the transition to a classification system involving 8 classes. It was, without a doubt, a major historic transition, but it was in response to the desire of the leadership of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. The leadership spoke, and athletic leaders across the great state of North Carolina responded and made it work. And when I say leaders, again, I go back to all those people I mentioned. Yes, it's people in the building in Chapel Hill with the Athletic Association, but it's high school principals, it's high school athletic, it's coaches, it's fans. Everybody came together, athletic directors, coaches, parents, everybody came together and said, this is going to work in North Carolina. And it's what's in place, and we're going to move forward. And I just appreciate all of you. It has been a great year one. We've learned some stuff that we'll adjust to moving forward, no doubt. But it has, without a doubt, been a historic, positive transition for the state of North Carolina. In closing, it's been one of the highlights of my career to serve on the board of directors for this organization. To the membership of North Carolina High School Athletic Association, I want to say a big thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity. While we have faced many challenges over the years, more certainly will come in the future. Thus, I challenge you as leaders of high school athletics in many different roles in this state to do 2 things. Do what is right, do what is good for the great student athletes of the great state of North Carolina at all times, and play to win, not to keep from losing. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you for what you do. To me, high school athletics is the top of the line for athletic competition. I go to a high school game any day of the week before I go to a professional game or a college game. Nothing against them, but I don't think anybody can interfere with the positive influence of high school athletics and the great scene you see when you see 2 athletic teams from high schools competing against each other. And we get the front row to the future leaders of our country, not only in the classrooms at school, but on the ball fields and courts after hours because of high school athletics. So at this time, I want to turn the floor over to Ms. Angie Miller. And I want to say thank you for helping us today, Ms. Miller, and for all your involvement in athletics. And she is going to present the nominating committee report. And after the presentation by Ms. Angie Miller, the commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, Ms. Q Tucker, will present her commissioner's report. Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon. My name is Angie Miller, and I'm standing in to assist for our chairperson, Mark Payne, on the nominating committee for the High School Athletic Association. The members of this committee represent each of our 8 regions. They are as follows. Region 1, Charles Simmons, retired, Hertford County High School. Region 2, Darren Hullen, Lakewood High School. Region 3, Angie Miller, Nash County Public Schools. Region 4, Michael Baker, retired, Fairmount High School. Region 5, Kelly Moyer, River Mill Charter. Region 6, Dylan Johnson, West Rowan High School. Region 7, Amber Fox, Freedom High School. Region 8, Travis Pittman, Mitchell High School. On April 23rd, 2026, the High School Athletic Association Nominating Committee convened by Zoom to review the Articles of Incorporation, Article 5 relating to directors of the board, and Item 2 under the bylaws. In reviewing the current senior class of the board of directors for the next vice president, there were 3 eligible principals available to fill that slot. In an effort to rotate the leadership from East, Central, and West, committee agreed it was time to nominate a more Eastern individual if that person had a desire to become the vice president. After careful and deliberate study and review of all the names that have been submitted using our online form, the committee voted and approved for your consideration the following persons for our officers and next board members for the 26-27 school year. Elect President Mark Garrett, Superintendent Henderson County Schools. Elect Vice President Andy McCormick, Principal, Union Pine High School. Elect Past President Dr. Stephen Gainey, Superintendent, Randolph County Schools. Elect Tracy Slade Nixon, Principal of Northside Pinetown, for a 4-year term for Class 1A, Region 1, replacing Superintendent Matthew Cheeseman, who changed regions after 1 year on the board. Elect Asmund McGill, Athletic Director, Martin County High School, for a 4-year term, Class 3A, Region 1, replacing Larry Williford. Elect Dr. Eric Bracey, Superintendent of Cumberland County Schools, for a 4-year term for Class 7A, Region 4, replacing Andy McCormick. Dr. Kelly Withers, Superintendent, Rowan Salisbury Schools, for a 4-year term, Class 4A, Region 6, replacing Brian Tyson. Elect Dr. Matt Stover, Superintendent, Catawba County Schools, for a 4-year term, Class 4A, Region 7, replacing Don Phillips, who moved to Region 5, but remains on the board for a remaining 1-year term. Elect David Johnson, District Athletic Director, Wilkes County Schools, for a 4-year term, Class 4A, Region 7, replacing Paige Baggett. Commissioner Tucker, on behalf of the committee, I submit this for a form of a motion.
Thank you, Angie. You've heard the recommendation coming from Angie on behalf of the nominating committee. Do we have a second?
Commissioner Tucker, Darren Hewlin at Lakewood High School, Region 2 Nomination Committee. On behalf of the entire committee, I second all nominations.
Thank you, Darren. So at this time, we've heard the report, you've heard the recommendation, and it has been formally seconded. And so we would ask now that all principals and/or the principal's designee would cast your vote. You should have a pop-up ballot at this time, and we would ask that you vote. We're going to give about a 1 minute or so for you to vote, and then we will move forward. Just a few more seconds we'll give for the principals. If you're online, we would ask that you would please cast your vote. All right. We will declare that the vote has ended. Based on the information I have been given, we had no votes cast, and we had a majority of those voting to accept and vote positively for this slate of officers and new board members. Thank you very much for your participation in this vote. I want to thank you to the committee, to the entire nominating committee, for a great job in nominating the leadership team, as well as selecting the new members for the 26-27 Board of Directors to be put before the membership. And even though, as we were working through that puzzle and looking at what the bylaws said, it took a while to satisfy the bylaws, you did it. I want to offer a special thank you to the class of 2025, which now we consider as graduates. Their term will officially end June 30th, but we want to thank them for their service on this board. Larry Williford in Region 1, Sam Jones in Region 5, Brian Tyson, Region 6, Paige Badgett, Region 7, and Chris Blanton, a two-term stint as past president. We appreciate your service on the NCHSAA Board of Directors and your service to the membership. I want to offer a special acknowledgement to Matthew Cheeseman for his 1 year of service. And even though the bylaws dictate that he cannot continue to represent a region in the next year because of having less than 2 years of service as dictated by the bylaws, I am confident that he will get another opportunity to serve a full term on this board now that he is in Region 2 as superintendent in Craven County. So again, thank you to Dr. Cheeseman. I want to welcome the new members, and I want to say, get ready, roll up your sleeves, because there will be plenty of work to be done. And congratulations to the new member of the leadership team, Andy McCormick, who will come on as vice president. Mark Garrett, we look forward to your presidency. And then finally, a special thank you to Stephen Gainey. Dr. Gainey, you have done an outstanding job as a two-term president, and you have provided continuity and guidance, leading us through this first year of an 8 classification model. Thank you very much for outstanding service. So at this time, I want to say good afternoon to the membership. We appreciate your sacrifice of time to join us virtually today. Over the coming weeks, we will release the names of award winners and scholarship recipients. And I would ask that you mark on your calendar June the 10th for the date in which we will convene in Greensboro in our annual awards celebration, where we will recognize those scholarship winners. We will recognize outstanding efforts by student athletes. We'll recognize officials, and it promises to be a great day. We will send more details in the coming days and weeks, so please stay tuned for that. At this time, I want to rewind and review just one major decision that came out of the December board meeting, so that this is on the minds of athletic directors and everyone as we approach the next school year. In December, the Board of Directors approved a 5% raise for all officials effective for the upcoming year. So please make sure that you are adjusting your budgets so that you can accommodate that raise for our officials. Now, as Dr. Gainey mentioned, we had 2 days of jam-packed meeting agenda items, and the Board of Directors made some historic decisions, and most everything will be effective for the 26-27 school year. And these include the following. I'm not giving you the complete list of action that occurred yesterday, but this is just a sampling of some of the things that I would suggest you pay particular attention to. The board approved requiring head coaches to complete a youth mental health and first aid training program once every 3 years. There are free options for satisfying the requirement. There's an NFHS Learn Coaching Mental Wellness. There's a National Council for Mental Wellbeing Youth Mental Health First Aid, or there's an option that could be presented by the school with and shared with the NCHSAA for approval. Approve the option to use a backstroke ledge in swimming in accordance with the NFHS allowance. Again, not anything that is required, but it is an optional use for ledges in swimming. Approve that the judging springboard diving course on NFHS Learn will be required for all diving judges and officials on an annual basis. So anyone who is judging diving must have completed that course. The board approved the 6-dive format now that the NFHS is allowing states to modify the number of dives that are performed by participants during a state meet. This is a change from the 11 dives. Now it will be 6 dives. The board approved editorial changes to several rules that you will see in the handbook for next school year. And those changes or editorial changes will occur in the felony policy and the statute of limitations. The board approved increasing assigning fees in all sports from $150 to $300 for varsity and $100 to $150 for junior varsity contests, and this will be inclusive of change fees. So no separate change fees, that will be included. The board approved requiring 2 officials on every MAC for dual team playoffs, beginning with the 3rd round and beyond. And additionally approved requiring 2 additional officials plus the number of MACs for each individual regional wrestling tournament. The board approved and clarified that each school must use only NCHSAA registered and eligible officials in all competitions and must work through an NCHSAA approved regional supervisor. The board also increased the number of daily contests for swimmers and divers from 1 to 2. Approved that each school must use only NCHSAA registered and eligible officials in all competitions and must work through an NCHSAA approved regional supervisor. Approved conducting time finals only at the swimming state championships. In wrestling, the board approved aligning postseason girls competition dates with the boys competition dates. Approved aligning junior varsity teams to conduct standalone scrimmages in all sports. The headline approvals coming out of the meetings over the last 2 days, as you could imagine, was the fact that this board approved the sanctioning of girls flag football in the fall and boys volleyball in the spring. These sports will now culminate in NCHSAA state championships during the upcoming school year. These sanctioning decisions show once again that there is a commitment to providing opportunities for students across the state. There were other items that were approved, and we will give a more detailed list in the coming days and weeks and share details as we move forward. And I would remind all of you that it is important for us to remember that per Senate Bill 452, all NCHSAA board approved items are subject to approval by the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. And I wish to again commend the members of this board of directors for doing this work on your behalf in a very thoughtful and deliberate manner as it addressed all issues that were presented. Over the past several years, I have talked about the inevitability of change. Real change will occur as a new commissioner will be in this seat this time next year. And I am very blessed to have had this incredible opportunity to be a member of the NCHSAA staff since 1991 and to serve as your commissioner since 2015. But over the next 5 months, and before that change occurs, I look forward to working with this incredible staff who come to work every day here at 222 Finley Golf Course Road. And I look forward to working with them on your behalf to provide leadership and governance on a daily basis, as we have done for many years. Together, staff, board members, students, coaches, athletic directors, and officials. We will continue to address the many and varied challenges and changes that will inevitably come our way. And even in the next few months, as we prepare not only to start a new school year, not only to welcome a new commissioner, there will be those detractors, those looking to change our focus, to derail our efforts to provide opportunities for young people. But together, we must do what those of us involved in education-based athletics always do. And that is, we will embrace whatever comes our way. We will embrace those as opportunities and teachable moments. And I want to thank you for your cooperation through the years, for your work on behalf of students across this state. Thank you for the many memories, and thank you for just allowing me as your commissioner to share a vision, to work hard, to do the right thing, and to treat you as I have always wanted to be treated. Again, thank you for what you do on a daily basis. I wish you a successful close to this school year. I look forward to seeing some of you in state championships in the coming weeks as we close out our spring sports. So thank you again for what you do. President Gainey, that concludes my remarks, and I will turn the meeting back into your hands for closing as you choose.
And thank you, Ms. Tucker, and again, thank you for all the work this year and this change to 8 classifications and all the work over the years as well. And Ms. Miller, thank you for being a part of today's meeting and bringing the nominating committee report. I'll just end with a couple of things and just want to remind you how much I appreciate all of you out there in the schools and the staff at the Athletic Association building. But it's just so many great things. I've been around this all my life, just like many of you. My dad was a high school principal, and the number one thing growing up I wanted to do was go to his school and go to athletic events. It didn't matter what sports season we were in. That was one of the highlights of my time, and it's just stayed there forever with me. And I just appreciate, because as I've grown older and I've watched, it seems like every time I turn around, I see something else that's being done on behalf of kids in a good way through high school athletics. You think you've seen it all, Ms. Tucker, and then we wind up running across yet another thing. And it's just because of the nature and the character of the coaches and the high school principals and the high school athletic directors, everybody involved, character. And it's all because when we do it the right way, we focus on kids at all times. And that's what school's about. And that's surely what high school athletics are about in the state of North Carolina. And I surely hope it's that way across the country. I ask you that we do our best to finish the 2025-2026 school year, including the spring athletic season, on a positive note. We've got a lot of work to do on sportsmanship. The report is not turning the other way. We looked at some things with sportsmanship this week on the report and some issues that continue to be there and continue to grow. And I'm just going to encourage you to not take your eye off that, because that's something we need to be a leader nationwide in, because we know a lot of things are happening around this country in athletics, but we need to be a part of turning this thing back around with sportsmanship and keeping the focus on the many wonderful things that happen every night on the ball field, on the courts. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and you enjoy the rest of the spring semester as we get ready to head towards graduation. Please know that you are appreciated and you're loved. And I promise you, people telling you that from the adult side is not anywhere as much. It's because it's so much greater. You just don't have a clue how much the kids love you and appreciate what you do for them. They may not always tell you, but everybody has their own way of feeling this love from coaches. And I guarantee you our kids are way better off because they spend time with you guys in the schools every day. So thank you for what you do. And I hope you have a great rest of your spring semester. and a great summer. Thank you.